NUFC Trust, the Magpie Group, AshleyOut.com, Empty for Ashley. Just what's the point in all these protest groups? Can they ever actually unite the fan base? And more importantly, collectively, can they put pressure on Mike Ashley? We're going to have a look in this video. Hello good people, thanks for joining me once again. My name's Ian and welcome to another video on this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon if you don't want to miss anything else from this channel. So today we're going to be exploring what good the fans groups can do and also some of the problems we have around them. But first, a quick update on what's gone on at Newcastle United this week. So obviously Rafa left last Sunday, as we expected, well, as we knew he was going to, and then that was followed swiftly by the news later in the week that Perez had signed for Leicester City for a reported £30 million, which was another kick in the teeth for the fans of the club, and another example of kind of the lack of planning and progress or anything positive to happen at the club this summer. I think it's the message that it sends that if you lose one of your top goal scorers, one of your best performers from the season before, but then have absolutely no one lined up to come in and replace him, that's just a huge issue for any club. And coupled with the fact that Rafa Benitez has gone and other players are probably likely to want to get out of Newcastle, and the fact that there's no sign of any signings whatsoever or even a new manager being appointed, the club's in a state. So the fact that Perez has just gone and for £30 million, and we all know that that money's going into Mike Ashley's back pocket, it's just a terrible message to send. So there are people out there who are trying to do something about this. Lots of people are at the end of their tether with the whole thing. Lots of people vocal on social media this week saying that they haven't renewed. Obviously the deadline passed on the 4th of July. Lots of people saying I haven't renewed for the first time in X amount of years. You know, people who've had season tickets for, 30, have been going for 30, 40, 50 years, have decided to pack it in because of what's happened this summer and Benitez and the last ray of hope that he gave us now gone. There's a growing number of people, a growing number of supporters who just ultimately want to do something good for the sake of the club in the long run. These fan groups, they're just normal fans who have the best interests of the club at heart. Most of them. We do get problems when we have personal agendas coming into it and some people sort of wanting to be the saviour, if you like, and that's a bit of an issue because these groups shouldn't ever be about egos or boosting people's profiles. So, clearly everyone's in despair, everyone has an opinion about the club and everyone has an idea about what's going to work in order for Mike Ashley to leave. So it's understandable that lots of people are getting off the backsides and wanting to do something about it. Absolutely fantastic and really, really good that we've got a growing number of people who are looking at putting pressure on Mike Ashley in this way. The problem we have though is that there are so many different fan groups at the moment and seemingly every day brings like a new one or a new group of people who have their own agenda, their own ideas about where they want to take any particular boycott of St James's Park and Mike Ashley and Newcastle United for the time being. And the problem with that is the fact that if you're trying to unite people, how can you unite them behind lots of slightly different messages? Some of them saying yes, a full boycott. Some of them saying, well, it's your choice if you want to boycott or not. There's no consistent message coming through here, and that is the problem we have with all these fan groups. They're really well intentioned, but the fact is they've all got slightly different ideas. And how exactly do you mobilise and unite a group of supporters as diverse as Newcastle United supporters? The truth is, that's extremely difficult, if not impossible. I'm on Twitter quite a lot, and Twitter, I've learned over the years, is a brilliant echo chamber. It's great because you tend to follow people that you like the sound of, you like the message of, and so you hear the same thing, so you get the idea, you get the impression that everyone thinks the same as you, because if you don't follow people you don't agree with. So Twitter is not a great barometer for a success of any particular campaign, or in our case, how many people have actually going to not go to the Arsenal game and how many people have given up their season tickets. It might look like loads of people have done that, but have they really? We don't know, and again, that's something we're going to find out when we get to the Arsenal home game on the 11th of August. How do we even know what the general consensus of Newcastle United fans actually is? We don't actually know that. Like I say, it's a diverse group of people. Everyone's got a slightly different opinion on it. And these groups are trying to unite people and they're getting their message across via the internet. Now, that's a big problem because actually we've got a large proportion of our fan base who aren't even on social media, who don't use things like Twitter and Facebook and all those other things, so they're not even hearing this message. So that's a bit of an issue. It's a massive issue, in fact. In my view, there is one solution that could bridge the gap between groups of supporters, so the groups of supporters who are on Twitter and the groups of supporters who don't use the internet, and groups of supporters who are on other types of social medias and forums and all that sort of thing. And it's a bit controversial because actually I think the trust between fans, the trust between the club and fans, the trust between the media and fans is at an all-time low. But actually, the last one, the local media, really, that is the Newcastle United supporters' best chance at uniting. And what we really need to happen is we need organisations such as the Chronicle and the local radio, and including BBC Newcastle, we need those people on side, and we need those people putting pressure on Ashley. So really, I think the media should be doing two things. They should be actively finding out from a wide range of supporters what their views are on a boycott and the situation at the club and how best they think it would be to get rid of Mike Ashley. That's the first thing that the local media need to be doing. And the second one is the most obvious one. The local media, they should be absolutely investigating Mike Ashley, properly investigating him for the role he's had at the club, because we all know what he's doing to the club. We all know he's taking millions out of it. But there's no investigation going on into that. Why not? Why is there no investigation going on into that? The local media should be spearheading that attack on Mike Ashley, but the problem we've got is they're absolutely scared of losing their access to the club. That's a huge problem, but someone needs to be brave enough that these companies, like the Chronicle, someone needs to be brave enough to say, right, we are not standing for this anymore. We are on the supporters' side, and we are going to fight alongside the supporters and get that trust back between the local media and the fans, and try and unite to put pressure on Ashley. Because if the local media can raise the profile of these boycotts, of these fan groups, then we have a chance of doing something significant. But as it stands at the moment, I just don't see anything other than another kind of lukewarm attempt at a boycott and another lukewarm attempt at protest. It'll just be like it's been in the past, and it just won't be significant enough to have an effect. I honestly don't think we'll see anything like the mass boycott these fan groups are hoping for until we get a more united front between fans and local media and local journalists. And I know that a lot of the local journalists are decent people and they're actually on our side, and they come in for a lot of flack. And to be honest, they're kind of just doing their job from whoever's telling them to do their job above them. But so it's those people above the local journalists that need to be saying, right, this is it, this is what we're doing, we're going to help put pressure on Ashley. That's what we need to happen. And in the process, raising this issue to a much wider audience than Twitter and Facebook and any other social media ever possibly can. We have a bit of an impression that local media is dying and stuff, but actually they still have a massive audience, much bigger than any single sort of Twitter account can ever possibly have. So we kind of need to be aware of that and use that to our advantages as a set of fans. So, you know, I would love to know what you think about this. Let me know in the comments below. You know, do you think that these fan groups can work as they are with lots of different ones, or do you think that we need to have a more united front? What are your thoughts about using the local media and trying to put pressure on them to help us put pressure on Ashley and working together a bit more? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Let me know in the comment section below. And also don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon if you like this video, and so you don't miss anything else on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.